Charlie Rocket, this is a full circle moment for me, my man. So back in 2019, before I had this podcast and I was trying to figure out a lot of things in my life, it was like a very important year for me, like self-discovery, if you will. I remember seeing a video of you on Instagram at the time that was from the Ed Milet show, where you walked Ed through this theory that you had discovered on life called the IMU theory, which I am telling you to this day, you and I were talking off camera. I told you it's been mentioned probably 20 different episodes throughout the history of my podcast. I tell it to everyone I know. It is the best theory I have ever heard in my life. It explains human existence and human relationships all at the same time, and I'm sure we'll go over it today so people can be refreshed on what it is if you haven't heard me say it a million times. But dude, like whatever that perspective was that you captured through your strictly like your curiosity to then put all these different things together across culture, I was like, that guy is a genius. So to see that you eventually saw a video of me talking about that all these years later and then found me through social media and you and I have become friends, it's a really, I don't know, it's a really special thing for me and very, very validating in kind of where I'm at this point. So thanks for being here, bro.
Bro, what's crazy is when I saw the video of you, I was like, this guy articulated it better than I did. I said, this guy's a genius. And immediately I was like, I got to get this guy on the phone. I'm the type, when I'm inspired by somebody, I have to talk to him.
I like that.
And I'm like, I have to ask them questions. You might be looking at me as a smart guy. I'm like, no, this guy is smart. This guy's the future. I've always had this gift of being able to like see around the corner of like, almost like somebody's future.
Yeah.
I've never actually seen somebody as they are today. I only see like their future version. And that's what made me like a good manager. Like I take somebody who literally has nothing and I only see their future. I don't even know how not to. I do not see that they don't have this or that. But when I saw you, I was like, oh my God, this guy's the greatest thing that podcasting has ever had. And I truly believe that. I tell my girlfriend, I'm like, this guy, this is the guy right here.
Well, thank you. That's pretty crazy to hear. What does it use? Like, what makes you able to see in people their future rather than who they are right now?
Well, I think it's I'm naturally a delusional optimist.
Delusional optimist.
Delusional optimist. To where like I see a lot with my like heart instead of like my brain. So brain needs to like be realistic. Heart just kind of knows stuff. Like, for example, if I were to say like follow your, what would you say?
Dreams.
Okay. What's another thing you would say? Follow your
heart.
Okay. Those two things.
Yeah.
Now name another organ. Follow your
brain.
It feels weird, right?
It's a little off.
Both are organs though.
Yeah, they are.
And like dreams are never associated with the brain. So it's like when I like feel something, I don't feel it here. This is going to, my brain is going to tell me, okay, this guy's on the come up. How many views does he get? Or like, oh no, he's doing all right. But I mean, it might not be Joe Rogan, but it's like, but that's all, well, that's the brain's job, right?
Sure.
I have been extremely blessed in my life to learn how to get my brain to be an employee for my heart. Usually it's a war. It's usually a war. Heart says, I want something, or I like something, or oh my goodness, that's my dream. I want that. Brain goes into this place of liking it first. Brain's like, that's a great idea. But
there it is. Yeah.
And then there's like this, there's this place called the Valley of Reality. And that's where like most everything dies. And it's because of the brain. Brain says, nah. What about if this happens? Okay, we need to be smart about this. And let me like connect dots based upon my current knowledge. Nothing to deal with the future. Brain doesn't even know what the future is. Brain only can think about the past or how to size somebody up or something up or a dream up. So I've just been very blessed to be able to get my brain to be like, heart, you know what you're doing. I'm here to work for you. Because when the brain takes the lead, man, it really messes some stuff up.
Gets crowded up there with a lot of thoughts. It gets really loud too.
Yeah.
I mean, from one overthinker to whoever else is listening out there that can understand that. That's the pitfall. But I think you know, there's also something ironically based on like the IMU theory that you gave, this kind of ties right into it, but there was something very inspiring in seeing you and your come up and what you did, because you literally started in your mom's basement as a kid, you know, like underdog, and you just loved one thing above all, which was music. And you're like, I love hip hop music, so I'm going to with this. And I think a lot of people out there, when I'll talk with people who are trying to start something, whether it's a podcast, a YouTube channel, or, you know, some new endeavor, their brain kind of comes right in and starts in the conversation being like, well, what if I can't have this? Or, well, I have thought about this and I don't know if I could be able to do that. And yet I go back to when I first started to do this, and I know it's the same way when you were a kid starting to do what you did. It's like, you just didn't think about it. You're like, I f with this. That's what I want. That's what I love. I'm going to go for it. And if that's delusional, then I love being delusional.
Delusional is amazing, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Let me tell you, man. Being delusional, like I'm a delusional optimist. So like if I were starting a podcast, let's say, for example, I would go into it and be like, okay, who's the biggest in the world? Oh, wow, there's a lot of big podcasts. It might be easy. I actually do this all the time. I always go to like, it's easy. It's kind of like a little like life hack or like theory I have. And I always just need proof that it's easy.
Hey guys, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It is the #1 thing that we need to get our videos into the algorithm. So I appreciate all of you who have been doing that, and all of you who are going to do so now. Enjoy this episode.
And I'm like, so I get to talk on a microphone, have really interesting conversations. And I get to like learn how to like edit a video. And if it goes viral, then I'll get more listeners. So I just need to get really good at like talking and editing. I'm like, okay, that sounds pretty easy. How long did it take for like this podcast to blow up or this podcast to blow up? Okay, that's it. Like, that's really not that bad. And then I actually show up because I believe it's going to be easy versus the brain takes over. Yes. Well, how am I going to get my first guest? Or like, who's going to like set up the lighting? And like, oh, I don't know how to edit. And then now I didn't even start a podcast at that point. I'm done. I quit. Valley of reality took me out the game because you start thinking it's hard. Yeah. And the reality is it is hard.
Do you think some of that has to do with subconsciously you're thinking about the time, right? When you're thinking about a task and something that's hard, a lot of the reasons that it's hard is not because it's like rocket science or something like that. It's hard because it's like you start thinking about, oh, how long will it take me to figure that out or learn how to do this thing that then allows me to just do the baseline to get better at that thing over time, which takes how much more time, right? Like you start like almost quantifying in your head time as the ultimate barrier to what you want to get.
I'm going to just tell you a story. Okay. I'm in the music business. I'm managing some of the biggest artists in hip hop. I'm 300 pounds and I'm at 2 Chainz' house. And it's Grammy week. And we're most likely about to win our very first Grammy. We were nominated for 5 Grammys. I have the biggest studio in Atlanta with my business partners called Street Execs. I had amazing business partners, Tech and Al. I have 5 of the biggest artists in hip hop. I remember Atlanta's radio station, Hot 107.9, did the top 7 at 7. And I had 6 out of the 7 songs. Like I was like this chubby little white kid from Atlanta who had a dream, and like I became like the king, I guess, of sorts, as like a manager. Yeah. And I'm at 2 Chainz' house, and I reached down in the closet to pick up some socks. I was staying in his guest bedroom at the time, and I passed out. When I got up, I could not stop the room from spinning. I'm going to say this, for 4 days. I wasn't in the closet for 4 days, but I couldn't get the world to stop spinning for 4 days. Come to find out, I'm diagnosed with a brain tumor. In my entire life, I was always 1 + 1 = 2 when it comes to business. That's if I do this, I will get this. And my mom, she would always say to me, like in my success, she's like, make sure you put God first and thank him for this. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. And I would be honest with her. I was like, I passed out those CDs every night at 4 a.m. Even when we have the number 2 song in the country, I'm outside the club in my suit at 4 a.m. passing out the CDs. I'm like, if I do this, I will get this. 1 + 1 = 2. Here I am, sick with a brain tumor, 300 pounds in the music industry. And I close my eyes and I would see my dream. The dream I buried. I buried it when I was a kid.
Your brain buried it?
My brain buried it because it didn't make any sense. As a kid, I was chubby, I was short, and I was slow. But what was my dream? I wanted to be an athlete. You get to that age, you need something to be good at for girls to like you. Duh. Like, I'm not making the team. So I buried a dream because I needed something to be good at. Simple. And so I went into business. So here I am, sick with a brain tumor, close my eyes and I see my dream. And I look at my life as if it was a movie. I actually saw like a screen in a theater. And I said, here's a really good kid named Charlie. He buried a dream. He went on to be a businessman and make a lot of money and make a lot of really good things happen. And he gets sick and he dies. And I said, that has a terrible Rotten Tomato score. Like that movie. I'm like, that's like a 19. It's like one of those like embarrassing Rotten Tomato scores. So I asked myself, and I'm very sad and depressed at this time. Scared. Really. I'm laughing about it now, but my brain knows how to like erase a lot of pain.
This is 2017?
This is 2017. Impressive.
I remember. You've told
Impressive.
That story. Not this exact story, but you've told like when it happened.
Stalker vibes. Okay.
It's all right, bro. It's in there.
Okay, so I said, what would make a good story? What if I lived a good story? That'd be a good Rotten Tomato score. And so I started asking myself questions. Well, what if I left the music industry? And what if I went and chased my dream of being an athlete? Brain kicks in. Come on, Charlie. How are you going to make money? Heart says, if I'm going to die, I need to know what it's like being an athlete. Brain kicks in and be like, you need to be realistic. You're not going to play for the Lakers. You're not going to be in the Olympics. We're talking about you're going on a jog. I was like, heart says, no, like when I was a kid, I was 8 years old. I wanted to be an athlete. My favorite company was Nike. The first stock I ever bought was Nike. Like I love Nike. Michael Jordan. I would read every book. No, for real. I had a choice of wearing Asics today. And I put on the Nikes because I was like, it's good juju. It's good freaking juju. I love Nike. So my heart started taking over. And I was like, what if it's easy? Okay? This is where the delusional optimism comes in. And it's like, what if I left the music industry? What if I went and did the most difficult thing I had ever done? What if I did an Ironman? And what if I lost weight? And what if I become a really big inspiration? What if Nike actually needs somebody like me more than they need just another person who runs fast? What if I made a fan-made Nike commercial and it was like the most inspiring Nike commercial ever? What if Nike sees it? And what if Nike signs me? And what if my dream came true? And what if that inspired like millions and millions and millions of people to like maybe take that leap?
It's official. The holidays are around the corner. That means lights, gifts, and get-togethers. And you know what the best gift for the smelly people in your life is? Deodorant. And you know which deodorant's the best gift this Christmas? Mando. And just why is Mando the MVP of deodorant? Well, for one thing, it's clinically proven to have 72-hour odor control. It's also safe for the whole body, pits, package, feet, and everything in between. And most deodorants are trying to cover up for what's already there. Mando stops odor before it starts. Now, Mando comes in spray, stick, or cream. Personally, I like the stick. It's familiar, and it just happens to be better than the old stuff I used. And Mando is also available in 4 cologne-quality scents: Bourbon Leather, Mount Fuji, Pro Sport, and Clover Woods. If you're a more rugged man, think Bourbon Leather. If you're someone who's always on the mood, think Pro Sport. I've told you, my number one thing with deodorant is I want to make sure when I put it on, I don't have to worry about it running out later and me smelling. With Mando, I know once I got that in the morning, I'm good to go as someone who's always on the move. Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers or even just to secure some last-minute stocking stuffers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, and free shipping. As a special offer for our listeners, new customers are going to get 20% off site-wide using our exclusive code. So use code Julian at shopmando.com. That link is in my description below for 20% off and free shipping. That's shopmando.com using code Julian for 20% off. Also, please support our show and tell them we sent you. Mando's got you covered. With deodorant plus sweat control, say goodbye to sweat stains and hello to long-lasting freshness. Finally, don't let the meat sweats get you this holiday season. Your family and friends will thank you.
And allow their heart to drive and not their mind. And I kind of brainwashed myself. Now, brainwash sounds like a really bad thing. But like, if I were to ask you a question, Julian, if your hands are dirty, what are you going to do?
Wash them off.
Okay, so why is brainwashing a bad thing?
It depends on the context. I see exactly what you're saying.
If my brain is dirty with negative thoughts, thinking this is not possible, what's the right thing to do?
Clean it off.
Clean it off. And so like I literally brainwashed myself and I got my brain basically working for my heart. And I was like, no, we're going to do this.
How'd you do that? And how long did that take to do that?
To do what?
To actually brainwash yourself.
Oh, it's a couple days.
Couple days.
Yeah, it's a couple days.
Wow.
Because the second I can see something, I believe it. My eyes don't have to be open to see. But if you're sitting in the dark and you can't see anything, you just sit there until you see something because it is there. Like literally, like if you were to close your eyes right now, you might not see anything. You sit there long enough, you will start seeing things. And I kept seeing this commercial with LeBron James and Serena Williams, and I literally believed it. And I went to my artists, I went to my business partners, and I told them what I was going to do.
How old are you at this time?
29.
You're young as hell. You're like a star in your business.
Yep.
You're making a lot of money. And you're like, I'm ready to.
Just like Andre 3000. I'm just walk away on top. I'm just going to walk away and go live an interesting life that would have a good Rotten Tomatoes score. Because more money does not mean the movie's going to be good. It's actually like, we're just going to make more money, but like you are sick and you're going to die. No. So I left. And everybody was wondering, is Charlie okay? Like, we know he's sick. But he's sitting here talking about he's going to be a Nike athlete. And I would like speak it to everybody I had a chance to speak it with. And I would say it in a way I wouldn't even let people have an opinion. They would probably have opinions when they're not talking directly to me. But you know how they say, I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to jinx it.
Yeah.
And then you know how like they'll say like, oh, like I'm just going to like go into hiding. I'm going to pop out. Like, and it's like, I'm not even going to tell anybody. No more talk. I'm just going to do it. I was the opposite.
You spoke it into existence.
Well, not just spoke it. Like there's like this process I have in like my like delusional optimism and like me brainwashing myself into believing something's going to be easy. Because at this time, I'm not looking for any hard path. I'm like, training for the Olympics might take 8 years. That sounds hard. I'm not going to do that. I was like, I'm going to find the easiest path for my dream. And it's going to be easy. But what I do is I tell everybody what I'm going to do. I remember I told this doctor, okay, I'm going into the doctor's office and I'm extremely overweight. And I told the doctor, well, one, he says, you got to get this under control.
This is after you're diagnosed with a brain tumor.
Yes, you got to get this weight under control. At the time, I was a binge eater. I would eat 15,000 calories in a night. I was addicted to food, and it controlled my life.
Was that something that you'd struggled with since being a kid?
Absolutely, because I had been on a diet since I was 8. I was always trying to be an athlete, so I needed to be on a diet. But I would like restrict my food, and then what would happen if you like held your breath for like 2 minutes?
Eventually, breathe really hard.
That was me with food. And so like I knew no difference to like restrict, binge. And it got to this like really dark place where it would restrict so much that I would binge to the point where I would try to make myself sick. I would go from one gas station that had like Mrs. Fields cookies to another gas station that would have like Krispy Kreme donuts. And then I would drive to another gas station that had like the ice cream sandwiches with the Mrs. Fields cookies, like the 2 cookies on both sides. And then I would drive to Wendy's and I would like be like, okay, I've messed up on my diet. I'm just going to make myself so sick that I'm never going to want to do this again. Like I'm going to overdose intentionally to inspire me to be like, this is the last time I'm ever doing this. And I remember I went to Wendy's, and the lady, she would see me every day. She was a big lady who worked at the drive-thru. And she saw me one night and she said, you got to stop coming here. And she's like my friend, but I had never had anybody at a business tell me something so like stark. And I was like, what are you talking about? She said, you're going to kill yourself. And I was like kind of like taken back. I'm like who are you to tell me, but like I'm embarrassed because when I would binge, I would always do it in hiding. I'd never go to a restaurant. I would be in my car. I'd go to the gas station. I'd eat in my car. And there was this one day I get the Wendy's. I'm sitting in my car. And my best friend, she calls me. She said, where are you at? I was like, I'm at the studio. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting in my car, just frosty, 2 or 3 Baconators, like making myself sick. And I see a black Dodge Charger pull into the Wendy's parking lot. And she drives a black Dodge Charger. But I'm like, it's Atlanta. There's 1,000 black Dodge Chargers. There's 1,000,000 black Dodge Chargers. And the black Dodge Charger drives around the Wendy's, pulls up, parks right beside me. And she rolls down the window and I'm like, fuck, it's my best friend, Tasia. And she looks at me and she's like, we got to get you help. Like it was like that. She would catch me digging in the trash can in the middle of the night because I would see like she would go out, come back with macaroni and cheese, eat some of it. It was still in the to-go box. And she would throw it away. And I would see that there was still some macaroni and cheese left. And so she would like catch me digging in the trash can. Like it was a sickness that I had. So
do you think it's because, I'm just curious here, because you said it came from when you were a little kid. Do you think that emanated from maybe spending a lot of time alone and that was like a joy you had that you'd be able to eat or something like that? Like what did that come from, you think?
When I learned how to make a sandwich, I started eating too much. When I got to the height where I can make a sandwich, it was peanut butter and jelly, it was mayonnaise and turkey, and it was like I liked it. It was good. But I loved sports. So I would train and train and train. But then I'd eat and eat and eat. And then I would diet and restrict. And then the balance of that is eat and then diet, restrict. It was just a vicious cycle. So I'm at the doctor's. And he said, you got to get this under control. And this is about the 4th person who has told me this. Because when you're overweight, it's very rare that people ever are honest with you. I'm talking about so extremely rare. my artist Quest from Travis Porter, this lady from Wendy's, my best friend Tasia, and this doctor. He said, you are out of control. And I told him what I was going to do. Abracadabra style. Like I always speak things. Abracadabra means as I speak, I create. And that's always been a secret of my success in the music industry. Anything I've ever done, I say what I'm going to do to everybody I get an opportunity to. And I said, in 10 months, I'm going to do an Ironman. And he said, son, he's like an older gentleman. He said, son, you need to set realistic goals because you're just going to let yourself down. And I said, excuse me? He said, if you set a small goal, it'll be easier for you not to disappoint yourself. I said, first of all, please don't ever tell me to be realistic. Second of all, it's going to be easy. He said, what? I said, I'm going to do an Ironman, and I'm going to do it in 10 months. And I'm going to just train like an 8-year-old would. Because I looked up the Ironman training schedule, and it was so freaking complex, bro. It was like swim this many laps at this heart rate, and then at this stroke, and then bike at this heart rate for this long. I was like, whoa. I'm not doing none of that. I went to the bottom of the page, and it said 2 hours every single day of training. And so I was like, 14 hours. Okay, when I was 8, and I went on a bike ride on a Saturday with my friends. We biked for a couple hours. Okay, that's Ironman training. Okay, we're swimming at the pool for a couple hours. That's nothing. A couple hours? Okay, 8-year-old, that's Ironman training. And we're running for a couple hours? What? Bro, like running around the park as a kid or playing basketball all day long. We're not talking about 2 hours. We're talking about 8-9 hours of playing. That's Ironman training. I said, I'm going to train like an 8-year-old, and I'm going to have fun, and I'm going to play, and I'm going to do an Ironman, and I'm going to lose all this weight. And he said, son, you need to be realistic. A year and a half later, I walk in his doctor's office, and what is on his lobby table?
A magazine cover with you on it doing the Ironman.
Runner's World magazine.
There you go.
And I picked it up and I walked in and I showed it to him. And he said, son, I always knew you were special. I was like, thank you for always believing in me.
At least he was a good sport about it. That's funny as shit. What's it? I mean, it's amazing that you did something like that. And obviously along the way also got yourself healthier and lost a lot of weight. And I want to talk about like what ended up happening with the brain tumor. But even before that, like this visit with the doctors, after you've been diagnosed, I think you said you went to like 4 different doctors or something. Like when you go to the first one though, after you pass out in there at 2 Chainz house and everything's spinning, you're like, what the fuck is wrong? And they put you in the fucking machine and they're like, oh my God, you have a brain tumor. Here it is on the MRI. What is that moment like?
Well, for me, it was a not again moment. When I was 17, my childhood was like half paralyzed underneath my bed.
Paralyzed underneath your bed?
Swear to God. I'm talking about under my bed with pillows surrounding the bed. No light, no sound, because for 5 years straight, when I would get done eating lunch at school, I would get the most god-awful migraines ever. It went on so long, and I'm going to a doctor, and they give me migraine medicine. People have migraines. That's a thing. So I take the medicine. I'm like, it's not working. Every year, progressively, the migraines got worse. Now, what also happened every year, you said on the phone, you said I'm a pattern like identifier.
Yes.
I identified a couple patterns. 1, I'd eat really unhealthy at school. 2, I was running businesses in high school. the more stress I had and the more I ate unhealthy, the more imbalance of my pituitary gland and the hormones. And it grew a brain tumor that was so big, and it was putting pressure on my eye. It was wrapped around like the artery going into my brain, restricting the blood flow into my brain. That if I walked upstairs at school, I would get to the top and have this like shock in my brain. And I guess it was from the lack of blood flow. I remember this one time, like in my backyard, there was this guy walking past my window. He was working with my dad on the yard, and it scared the living crap out of me that he was like outside my window. I'm like, boogeyman. And it gave me like a 2-minute, like, I'm not going to say seizure, but a paralyzed where I couldn't move because of the lack of blood. So I was first diagnosed at age 17. They gave me medication, went away. I'm doing great until 27, 28 years old. So I knew. And so it was like, oh, wow, not again. The difference this time, medication wasn't working. They kept upping my medication. And to a place where it was like 4 times the amount to try to get my levels. And it started affecting my heart valves. That's a side effect of this medication at too high of a dosage. And so this is when I asked the doctors, I'm like, does this have anything to do with how I eat? And does this have anything to do with like me being stressed? I had just lost one of my artists, Bankroll Fresh, got shot and killed. Rest in peace, Bankroll Fresh. And there was a lot of like violence at our studio, and like our empire grew so big that it kind of like had some issues, you know. There was just a lot going on violence-wise. And another one of my artists was getting shot at several times, and the studio was on the news, and I was on the news because I didn't want to be one of those owners that's like no comment when I'm walking out of the studio. I was like, I'll come talk to y'all, you know. Well, I'll go get crucified in front of the, you know, neighborhood association meeting because people's houses have bullets in them behind our studio because there's so many bullets flying. So there was a lot of stress, and I was very unhealthy. And so I asked the doctors, I said, how much of this has to do with like my food and my stress? And they said, no, just a certain percentage of people get this type of tumor, and it's usually easily managed. And
so it's not, is it cancerous?
No, it's not cancer.
It's not cancerous.
It's just mine was, I guess, just out of control. I guess I've lived a much more extreme life than most people. And for me, it was just a recipe for it being extremely invasive through my brain. I mean, it was there for so long, it started corroding the top of my spine. Like it just sat on it. So long story short, I kind of took things into my own hands. And I was like, I'm going to go learn everything there is about health if I'm going to achieve my dream. And I went to a longevity center in Florida for 2 months. And it's just all old people there. And I loved it. I walked away from the music business, and I'm in a old folks longevity center. And I even took one of the guys to the strip club. Like we snuck out. I swear to God. We snuck out. And apparently word spreads really fast with the old ladies. And when we walked in for breakfast the next morning, the little old ladies, I'll never forget, because I never heard it called this. They were like, I heard you went to the girly club. And I was like,
well, you know, women, they never stop gossiping.
But long story short, I had a blast, learned everything about health, and I was on my way. I solved my food addiction. I started eating living food.
You solved your food addiction.
Absolutely.
How did you do that?
Brother, it was quite simple.
Simple.
It was not complicated. One, I need to be full. Rule number 1, I am not restricting ever again. I need the top of my stomach to fill up. So I learned a simple philosophy at this place, and the place is called Pritikin. And they said that if I eat a pound of strawberries, which is like this much, a pound of strawberries, heaping, it's 150 calories. And they're like, well, when you're cooking your chicken over there and you're cooking with oil, just a little bit of oil in the bottom of the pan that you're using on the chicken and then on the vegetables, you think you're eating healthy, just the oil is 150 calories. And is that hitting the top of your stomach? Little bit of oil? No, it's hardly coating the bottom of my stomach.
That's right.
The goal is to be full. When I learned that a baked potato, I could eat like 7 baked potatoes for the same amount of calories as like a big old bag of chips. I'm like, I could down a bag of chips like it's nothing. But I can't even eat 7 baked potatoes. And it's like, just put salsa on it. I'm like, salsa is actually pretty good, like on a baked potato. So I just replaced with the most lowest calorie dense food on planet Earth. And there's like I would just search Google, how many calories are in a pound of oil? 4,000 calories per pound of oil. How many calories are in a pound of sweet potatoes? 250. And I'm just like, I'm going to eat those foods and I'm going to always be full. Now, what did all those foods have in common? They're like living real foods, like not touched by a machine. They're like, it's just like God grew them.
Ain't that funny?
Mm-hmm.
How that works?
Right.
It's like we evolved backwards.
Right.
Started using the machines and putting all kinds of shit in us.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did that, like you hadn't eaten a lot of foods like that before. I mean, the places you were describing earlier, the direct opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a jump there from going from being used to like the taste of, you know, sweet processed foods to natural foods that when we're kids we're kind of wired in a weird way by society to be like, oh, the natural food isn't the treat is the thing with sugar, so we think that this is like, oh, we got to, whereas this is like we want to.
This is why I appreciate rock bottom so much, because it really makes everything easy. Like I always say, like, Santa Claus delivers the presents in the dark. That's the delusional optimism in me. And it's like, if I'm in a really bad place, it's so easy to have motivation to do something very difficult. And so, like, I went, like, plant-based. I changed how I ate. I started training for an Ironman. And if you ask me, it was freaking easy. I had an amazing purpose. So I'm never mad at rock bottom. I'm, like, actually grateful. If something bad happens to me, I'm like, there's always a gift in this. I've actually never had anything bad happen to me.
You never had anything bad happen to you?
How? I had a brain tumor. Okay, it made me a Nike athlete. I got fired from being Soulja Boy's cameraman. Okay, I'm going to be the biggest manager in hip-hop at the time. Like, my girlfriend broke up with me. Like, she kind of was toxic. Like, appreciate not her.
Yeah, I was going to say, found a better one.
I found a way better one. So it's like, what actually bad has ever happened to me? Please tell me. Like, my grandfather died of cancer. I swear to God, he guides me and is an angel. Like, literally, he's with me every day, guiding me, like giving me so many blessings. Like, I'm trying to carry on his name and legacy. Like, he's still here with me. Okay. Like, my grandmother died. I swear to God, I found the reincarnation of her. It's my girlfriend, the sweetest girl. My grandmother was the sweetest lady. And it's like, okay, my grandmother sent me her. Like, I've never had something bad happen to me. Now, when bad stuff does happen to me, I do throw my tantrum, and I am human. Let's be very, very clear. I'm extremely emotional. Y'all could probably look at me and see I'm an emotional guy. So, like, I'm not this, like, rainbows and butterflies.
I got you.
I am rainbows and butterflies. It's just, if I'm in the shit, I'm pissed, frustrated, sometimes punching a pillow, sometimes punching a steering wheel. And then I'm like, this isn't fun. It's just not fun. And most of us get caught in this perpetual vortex loop of thinking about the bad things. And it's replaying this really bad fucking song. And who wants to replay a bad song? I'm not a hater on anybody, but I heard like a Lady Gaga song the other day. And it was really bad. And I'm like, I would never play that again. Like, please, I would pay you not to play that song. And I think she's an amazing artist. So sorry, Lady Gaga.
I
it was just a bad song. We all make bad songs.
Yeah.
But why would I ever play that? So it's like when something bad is happening in my life, usually it's a loop of like thinking about the negativity of that person or that thing. And people get stuck there for lifetimes.
They do.
And I'm like, I don't want to play a bad song. Let me turn that off. What's a good song?
Hey guys, if you haven't already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. It's a huge, huge help. Thank you.
So you kind of answered a question I was going to ask, but I want to make sure I understand. When something does happen that, you know, if we were looking at it 30,000 feet in the air, not you, just objectively, it's like, well, that's not a positive, right?
Yeah.
In the moment, you react the way you react. You're mad, maybe you're sad, whatever it may be,
Absolutely.
upset, annoyed. But then once you release that energy,
Yeah.
you place that energy in a box and push it down the fucking river. And now you look at this thing and be like, well, I can't change what happened, but here's actually what it can do for me moving forward, which is what I can actually affect and change for the better.
This is my thing. Well, for one, you nailed it. But this is my thing. I'm on a
Winning streak.
okay. If I'm losing, I have to find the win in it if I'm going to keep my winning streak going. All right. Who's your favorite sports team?
Ooh, that's so hard because I like all the sports. Eagles gun to my head. Yeah.
Eagles.
Yeah.
Eagles won 11 in a row. What are you thinking about?
Don't lose.
What else are you thinking about? 12.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. But you see what I
12.
said? Don't lose.
Yeah.
You see where the mentality is? It's
Yeah.
like, fuck, we're doing so well. We're
Right.
gonna fuck this up.
You're at this elevation that you think you could fall, or it could just be like, we're going to 12. So if I'm on a winning streak, okay, I'm winning. I woke up this morning. I'm on your podcast. I'm in New Jersey, which I actually think I like New Jersey better than New York. New Jersey's nice. You get a backyard. I like New Jersey. Dog has a
I like
nice
this guy. He can stay. He's
Dog
good.
has a little place to take a shit, scratch the dirt in New
That's
Jersey.
right.
New Jersey is a win, okay? So it's like I got this beautiful cup of coffee, right? I got a hot girlfriend. She's amazing. My mom's alive. My dad's alive. Like, this is a blessing. I'm going to Turks and Caicos. I'm on a winning streak. Let's just be very clear. I'm on a winning streak. Let's say something bad happened to me. Does it end the winning streak? It could.
If you let it.
I have to find the win in it. The second I find a win in it, now we're at 12. We got to 12. So it's like a loss is like a lesson learned. What's that?
A W.
2 L's make a W, baby. I can't lose. They might think I'm crazy, but this is just a much better way to live. It's fun, okay? Some people are going to roll their eyes. Some people hate they think my positivity is like toxic.
They think it's not real, but it is, dude.
Well,
It is.
if you ask me why, I just be like, I just want to have fun. Losing is not fun. We go to Vegas, all right? Me, you, and your boy. All right. What's your name? Joey. Me, you, and Joey. We're in Vegas together, right? I'm playing blackjack on this table. Joey's playing blackjack on that table. You're just hanging out right now. You're like, I'm not. Okay. I'm over here.
That sounds right.
Okay. So I'm over here playing my blackjack. Or you know what? I'm playing craps. What scene in the movie? I'm playing craps. Boom. I won. Hey! I gave a little cheer. And then boom. I hit it again. Hey! And then a couple other people, I hit it again. Boom! 3 in a row. Now it's like people start gathering around. Okay. Now it's like this attractive pull because everybody wants to be around a winner. Boom. I've hit 7, 8 in a row. And it's like cheering and people are like, oh! And then I'm like, oh! Yeah! You can see it, right? And then your boy Joey's over at the other one. He lost. Damn. All right, let me pull out the money. Lost. Lost again. Is a crowd gathering around our boy Joey? Actually, are people allergic?
They're allergic.
They're like, I need to get far away from this
Marty Mush.
dark cloud named Joey. But this guy's over here, pass me the magic. I just need to be around the magic. So winning has this gravitational pull of like mass. It's like you think about like the sun, right? It has all this energy and it's so big, it actually attracts all this amazing stuff like Earth and Saturn. If it didn't have this like mass of energy, it wouldn't attract anything, right? He's like a dead star that has like collapsed. And guess what that is? a black fucking hole, okay? Now that attracts shit too, but it's going to attract some negative shit and we're all fucking dying, okay? Yeah. That is the choice we have to make. What is fun? Who do you want to be right now in this situation in Las Vegas? I want to be the winner. So I'm going to wake up and I'm going to choose to win. And that doesn't mean a whole bunch of stuff has to happen for me. That means I'm going to appreciate all the things that are going on in my life. And I am grateful for them. I do not need the Lamborghini and I do not need the $20 million house. I needed my cup of coffee to be happy. I needed my mom to be alive to be happy. I'm on a fucking winning streak. And when you win, you keep winning. And when you lose, which is very easy to look at all the things going wrong, even just comparing yourself to other people will make you feel like a loser.
Sure.
You see what you're looking at. So people ask, why are you so freaking positive? It's simple. I just want to have fun. It's not that deep. And fun is a choice.
How do you make that switch though so fast? How do you let that emotion out and then get right there? Because like that example you gave, it's hilarious and it's funny too, right? Like the black hole over here. And I love how you're like, what's your name? Joey. All right, you're a black fucking hole. I'm the good guy. But,
sorry, like, Joey. My bad, big dog.
But like when you're over here, yes, in that scenario, you won 4 in a row.
Yeah.
The vibe though, when on the third one, instead you lose.
I want me to tell you the story?
Like, right,
bro, you know I got a story for this.
I'm sure you do.
Check this out. I'm in.
Like getting ready.
No, for real. No, okay. I'm in Miami. True story. I put it on my grandfather's yiddy. Okay? You know if I put it on my grandfather, it's real deal.
Yeah, it's some real shit, bro.
I wake up in the morning and I scream these words. Wheel of Fortune. And the rest of the day, I said these words, Wheel of Fortune, 500 times. So much, my girlfriend and my best friend Langford are like, shut the fuck up. And we're just in Miami having a good time, but I was channeling this energy that I'm winning. Okay, when you play the slot machine, Wheel of Fortune hits, you're going to win some money. I'm winning. Wheel of Fortune. I'm just saying it all day, every day, almost to the point I'm trying to get on their nerves. Okay? We're out helping some people. We're doing our little nonprofit thing.
We'll talk about that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's good shit.
And then we're done. And since we're in Miami, what's just 40 minutes away?
The strip club?
There is a strip club, but
it's
no.
Less than 40 minutes, but...
But no. The Hard Rock Casino.
Oh, in Fort Lickerdale.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
And so I told my girl, I told my best friend, I was like, let's go. I've been saying Wheel of Fortune all day. I had no intentions to go to the casino, but I'm like, let's go. I'm feeling lucky. We go. Now, this is where it proves your point. I pull out my limit from the ATM, $500. That's my limit. Okay? Pull out my $500, like, let's go have some fun. Pop it into the Wheel of Fortune, you know, the $10 push. The $10 push, okay? I pop it in. Lost. I'm down to $200. What do I tell my girlfriend? I said, I know why I'm losing. This is the regular machine. We need to go to the high stakes machine because when I win, it's going to be big. I just lost. I looked at it as a gift. True story.
I think the casino manager looked at it as a gift too.
So I pull out my little piece of paper voucher for $200. And I say, we're going to the high stakes. Let's see if they have a Wheel of Fortune in there. But you know, that's $100 spend. That's not a $10 spend.
Oh.
$100 spend.
The old ladies aren't on that one. Japanese guys.
I pop in my voucher. Wheel of Fortune! Gold spin! 10x! $16,000 fucking dollars. You should have seen the look on their faces.
I think Neve just got some PTSD.
We have a video.
She looked like she was back at Nam.
I deserved better than the regular machine. I needed the bigger machine because I believe that I am see, I'm very pronoid. Pronoid. There's two ways to be. There's a paranoid and a pronoid. Paranoid, the universe is conspiring against me. Pronoid, universe is conspiring for me.
Oh, wow.
I'm not losing. I'm supposed to go to the big machine. Why am I doing this? Because it's more fun. It's not deep. This is not mental health in my mind. This is not some deep psychology, NLP, none of that. This is just called fun. I just want to have fun in this one life I was given. So if I'm losing, I'm just going to look for a silver lining. I'm going to try to make it into a winning streak. But there's a couple lessons in this. One, I'm losing. I'm like, I'm supposed to have something bigger. The second lesson, abracadabra. I said Wheel of Fortune 500 times in a day. Of course I hit the jackpot. My girl and my best friend looked at me like, do you have some magical wizard powers? I'm like, yes, I do. It's called spelling. As I speak, I create. That's what magic is, right? Abracadabra. That's what Aramaic origin of the word abracadabra means. As I speak, I create. And our words are like a wand. Words are called, like you spell words. So it's spelling. You cast spells.
Who just said that? Someone just said that in the studio. Who the fuck just said that? Was that Chris who said that? It was Chris. We were at dinner. He's a world-class magician. Chris Ramsey. He's like, what is spelling? It's casting a spell.
Amen.
Just got shakes, man.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I said Wheel of Fortune 500 times. I won the jackpot. I took my girl to Turks and Caicos a couple of days later, and it paid for the whole trip. It was great. It was her birthday. Like, true story. Now, I have a losing version of this.
Oh, no.
Last week, I was feeling lucky. I go to the ATM, and I pull out my limit, 500. I'm not at a casino. I buy my lottery tickets. There was a lottery that had a $40 million prize, $150 million prize, and $400 million prize. I bought $500 worth of lottery tickets.
Wow.
I lost all of them. I lost on each and every one. But I was so sure I was going to win. Let me tell you what I did the night before. I went to open houses.
Oh, no.
No, this is how you win. Like that. Like, listen, I got to point to this story. I go to open houses. I put this on Jiddy. This is a true story. Okay. Go to open house. I found my dream house. And I told my girl, when I win this ticket tonight at 7:45, I'm going to know that I won. And I'm going to call the realtor and I'm going to tell her I want to move in tonight. I'll letter of intent. But give me the keys right now. Here's my lottery ticket. Proof I won. I'm ready to move in tonight. But this is what's delusionally going through my brain. Okay? I'm making plans. Want me to tell you what I saved the realtor's number in my phone as? This is what, you know what? This is where I'm going to lose people because people are going to be like, this dude might be too far out for me. You know what? It freaking works. I've done a lot of things in my life. I've won Grammys. I've won Emmys. I was a music manager. I'm a keynote speaker. I built one of the biggest nonprofits on the internet. I have 9 million followers. I was a shy, antisocial kid who just was behind the camera. I was Soulja Boy's cameraman. I've done anything I've ever wanted to in my life because of this. And so when I move into this house, it'll make for a cool story on part 2. So let me tell you what it's done. Okay, so I saved the realtor's name in my phone as Browen Realtor Malibu, my house on Selfridge Road. It's done! ! It's easy! That's how I saved her known in my phone. So I'm looking at it like I'm gonna win this lottery ticket. I'm gonna call her at 7:46, tell her I won and I want to move in right now, and then I'll obviously have the money in a couple weeks when the lottery gives me the money. I didn't win. Okay. But what happened this week, the same week, I got a download and I wrote a business plan that's so cold and I was able to reverse engineer the numbers to be like, 30 million. Like it was like a guy even flew in. Like I was in the energy. Guy flew in. And we're working on a business that's one of my smartest and the biggest business I've ever built in my life. And I thought to myself, holy shit, I actually did win the lottery this week. It was just in a different form. I actually did. It was just not how I expected it. But this is my thought process. Why do I do this? It's fun.
Yeah.
It's just more fun.
It attracts energy, for sure.
And when I move in that house, it'll just be another one of those Jim Carrey stories. And then that's what people actually need to know stuff is possible. They just need that to exist. So I actually believe that God wants this to happen to me so that it can help other people know that this is a cool way of living life.
You know, there's a piece of me that used to look at, let's say, over manifestation, or people that tried to just solve all their problems with saying nice things out loud or whatever. Many times, by the way, and this needs to be said, they were people who would say those things as if that were the end all be all, and then not actually do things to make those things happen, right? I think a clear distinction with a guy like you, if you look at your entire life, is that you're a doer. Yes, you say these things, you talk these things out loud, you have this attitude, you have a positive bend on things, you set expectations of the universe for you so that it's, you know, rather than paranoid, it's pronoid, and it's working for you. That's great. But you go and you put the work in and you make it happen, and there's proof in the pudding. But there was a study that I saw not too long ago, because I had been like changing my mind on some of the energy around you, right? Not to get too woo-woo, but I'm like, yes, you have to go do like a Charlie.
Absolutely.
But there really is something to saying things, how you talk to yourself, how you talk to the things around you. And there was a doctor named, I believe it was Masaru Emoto, who came up with a study. I don't even remember how the fuck he did it, but he essentially found that the way one group of people talk to themselves versus the way another group of people talk to themselves or talk to the world around them, one being negative and one being positive, created a massive V in their outcomes, because the study showed that down to the cellular level, and it's going to get above my pay grade here exactly how this happened, but down to the cellular level in their body, it changed how they physically reacted to the environment around them so they could perform at a higher level and potentially make those things happen. So when I see things like that, and then I combine that with a lot of different other neuro experts who talk about putting words into the universe and attitudes into the universe, and how your brain is directly tied in your language to like the heart, and what the heart wants or says you can get that the brain tries to shut down, I'm like, holy shit. It really is all there within us. It has to do with how we have to just rewire ourselves to be on the right path rather than the path that says, I can't.
I have a story for you.
Please share it.
But I need to use the restroom first.
All right, we'll be right back.
Can I use this one?
Yeah. Anything.
I'm going crazy.
You can go crazy. We have multiple
I actually
angles on
think
you.
this is going to end up being like my Bible episode.
You're doing pretty good so far.
I just having too much fun because you understand entertainment. You got to think, I'll sit there and talk to somebody who understands self-development, or like somebody who understands like how to make YouTube videos. I'm talking to somebody who understands entertainment right now. I'm having a fucking blast.
You think I'm glad you're having fun.
Bro,
you think I understand
best
entertainment?
in the business. Why do you think I keep saying that to you?
I don't know. I really, it's very humbling to hear. It's crazy when someone says something like that, though, because really, at the end of the day, I mean, I hope you're seeing it today. Like, I just talk with people. That's all it is. Like, you and I, you got here.
Yep.
We started talking in the kitchen. Like, we've talked forever. And then we just sat down and Deep said, the cameras are ready. I'm like, great. And we started talking.
That's it.
You know, that's and we're back on now, by the way.
Oh, okay.
We should have picked it up right there when he said the Bible part. All right, that was perfect. That was like, great. This is the Bible. Like, just the way you say things with a story. Like, we were talking just off camera before we started about like, Charlie's like, man, I got to figure out how to hook things and tell a story right. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, he fucking pulls his sleeves up right when he's going to start. You get all dramatic and you're like, I got a story for you. Like, if my thumb is going through the feed and like I come to a video where some guy in like a pink hat goes, let me tell you a story. I'm like, my thumb's off the screen. You got 10 seconds, go. And 10 seconds in, I'm going to stay with you. Like, you have a obviously, for you to get the guys that you got to believe in you, even when they were nothing, when 2 Chainz wasn't 2 Chainz yet, but you saw it, you knew what he was going to be, right? And I want to come back to that topic, by the way, of like how you know things and people. We got off that, but like you saw what that was. He still saw a young guy, you know, maybe you're 20 years old at the time, 21 years old, whatever, you know, the self-described awkward fat kid from his mom's basement. And he's like, what does this white boy know? You know what? I believe in this guy.
Right, exactly.
And so there's something in you. There is a magnetic energy that draws people to you. And so when you talk about, oh, how do you hook a story? Number one, you already got that. Number two, that's exactly what it is. Like if you didn't know how to do that, you'd never be able to have that magnetic energy. Steve Jobs always said it, storyteller runs the world. That's why you're successful. That's why you got to where you got. Of course, a lot of hard work in that and actually understanding the industry. I don't want to discount that. But to put yourself in a position where you could even do those things, I'm telling you, without having been there as a fly on the wall in the room, that's what it was.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Haven't already subscribed, please subscribe and hit the like button on this video. It is a huge, huge help. And if you'd like to check out this clip's full podcast episode, that link is in the description below or right here. And finally, you can follow me on Instagram and X by using the links in my description below.